They will introduce, quite often, documents, pictures, oral testimony, and then if you are here on a particular case, it is then your turn to cross-examine them. It is not your turn to tell me your story, it's your turn to ask them questions. At the conclusion of the city's case, then it is your turn. You can introduce documents, photographs, you can call witnesses, ask them questions, you can tell me anything you would like. At the conclusion of your presentation, the city then gets a chance to ask you questions. After you've exhausted all of your witnesses, I make my decision. I cannot give you legal advice, but I can give you procedural advice. If at any time you are uncertain what your next move is, just raise your hand and I'll say you can turn right, you can turn left, you can back up, but I can't tell you what to do, but I can give you your options, okay? All right. We begin with the approval of the minutes, and I know that the only people that were here last time are city employees. Does anybody have an objection to the minutes as the way they're written? Seeing no objection, the minutes are approved. We begin with our initial hearings. The first case up is COATS Limited Partnership and Club COATS Association, which is case number SCDEF 2023-37. Ms. Herstein, and is there anybody here on this case? Okay. And who is the primary person here?
There's a board member named Zoe, last name starts with a C.
Okay, which one of you? I have two women raising their hand.
Oh, I'm Zoe. No.
Okay, you're Zoe. All right, great. If I could ask you, could you come and sit in the front row? That'll give you a better chance to hear. And
anybody that she wants to, you're welcome to all move with her if you wanted to be able to, you know, converse about it, or everybody's welcome to move if they want.
the seats in the front cost exactly the same amount as the ones in the middle and the back. Okay? All right. Good morning, Ms. Herstein.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Could you please raise your right hand to be sworn? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the true self you got?
I do.
Okay. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Before going into the initial hearing for Case 5A, I would like to say that Case 5B was pulled from today's agenda.
Okay. And it'll be brought up at a later date, I take it.
If necessary, absolutely.
Okay, so for the record, case CDEF 2023-25 has been pulled from today's docket at the request of the city.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
For this case, I'd like to ask that each of the documents provided by the city and the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate's notebook for this case be accepted as evidence. I'd like to ask actually that each of the documents included in this PowerPoint file, whether presented during the hearing or not, by the city for this case be accepted as evidence, most of which have been provided to the Special Magistrate and all of which have been provided to the respondent rep, so.
Okay, I note that there was a special section in the notebook which were documents that were provided by COATS. Are you asking that those be accepted into evidence as well?
Yes, Your Honor. They were submitted by the time frame in the manner prescribed, and so yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you're doing them a favor. All right, ma'am, did you have an opportunity to review what the city handed you?
Not everything.
Not everything. You need an additional minute or two, or how? Okay. Do you have a legal objection to the documents being accepted into evidence? And Ms. Herstein is asking that the documents that your association submitted also be accepted into evidence. She's doing you a favor. You don't have to put them in. Okay, do you have a legal objection? Okay, then the entire packet and the PowerPoint presentation will be accepted into evidence. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to say initially that a Scrivener's error on the parcel ID followed some of these notices along, unfortunately. This was not brought up by the respondent in any way, but was recognized by the city. The correct parcel ID for the common areas of this timeshare, which is what this case pertains to, is 5322-49000001.
Okay.
The other parcel number that was in error was for an entirely different address, completely different. So it's not potentially on this property to be confused. It is a completely different property.
Okay, but 2539 South Atlantic Avenue is the physical address,
Yes,
right?
Your Honor.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thank you. And this is a timeshare?
Yes, this is a timeshare. You see pictures from the top left picture are from from A1A, that's the west side of the building. And then the bottom two pictures are the seawall as it, similarly to the way that it sits. These were taken back in August. It's a little bit different now from the east side, which is where the violations in this notice pertain.
Okay, thank you.
This is an initial hearing for a property that was damaged in Hurricane Nicole. While the pool has remained intact, the pool deck is damaged, the seawall is leaning eastward, and both north and south return walls are damaged. The north wall is damaged significantly more. It is almost completely removed, destroyed. With no forward movement for fixing the issues, I generated and sent a notice of violation for 6 violations in September. Good service was achieved, and affidavits begin on page 5A-11 for that service. Because there are 2 different owner names listed in places for this property and for the common area of this property, out of an abundance of caution, I included both. Unfortunately, the name C. Oates Limited LLP is shown on the property appraiser's website. If you wanted to look, you could see that on page 5A-18, which means I should include it until that gets updated, if that is not the current owner. But as of right now, I'm including both out of an abundance of caution.
Okay.
I did achieve good service to both of these owner names and addresses, and the more likely owner, the name of Club C. Oates Association, Inc. Achieved good service to both. Though I had conversations with the president of the association and the contractor, Parker Osborne, who I'm told has submitted the FDEP permit application for the permanent rectification of the seawall. Without other forward movement, I prepared and sent and posted also a statement of violation request for hearing and notice of hearing for the 6 violations. Again, good service was achieved to both possible ownership companies. We've spoken with Parker. Parker has spoken with Volusia County about eliminating the safety hazard of the outward-leaning seawall. This property is before you in front of some others today, most especially because that wall that you can see in this bottom 2 pictures is leaning eastward, and even a little bit more today than it was because more sand has been pulled away from its base with the last few weeks of high surf. Monday, we received a packet for inclusion in the Special Magistrate's notebook of 20 pages. This info includes SBA info of a loan, an SBA loan in progress, and some contractor estimates. I'd like to take you through the violations, the 6 violations with the pictures associated with them, if I may.
Yes, please.
Violations A through F. Violation A is that the seawall is structurally flawed and leaning outward with only temporary sandbags at the very south end, preventing further damage to the property from high surf events. You can see the upper left picture that was taken back in February with a follow-up down below a couple weeks ago.
Is the seawall really that crooked, or is it just the photograph?
No, that is
It's leaning forward.
You can see in the bottom photograph, it's taken from immediately south of the property, and it is leaning.
Okay.
Violation B, the seawall is non-functional and is not structurally sound. I've shown you the same picture below and a slightly different picture, I believe, at the top. Violation C, the pool deck has collapsed in places. The top left picture is showing you the far north side. There were, before the storms, there were pavers that went around to that side of the pool as well. You can see up close to the arrow, the seawall is jutting out, and I believe that's approximately where the property line is, where that seawall ends. And that previously had pavers, so you could walk all the way around the pool. That's all been washed away. And you can see from a different angle, the one taken on the 22nd of November of the other side, on the other side of the pool equipment house, showing that the deck is clearly undermined and has collapsed in places. Violation D, similar, but that the pool and pool deck are undermined. You can see that picture above. It was taken from the northeast corner, from the beach. So you can see how you can actually see the north side of the pool, the outside of the pool. And then a similar picture of the deck undermined in the lower right picture. Violation E, the seawall is not in good repair. It's missing in places and is not protecting property elements. And then the upper left is a slightly different picture, but just showing you what happened after Nicole or during Nicole. And then a similar picture that you've seen for the way it stands as of November 22nd and today. Violation F, the railing is not in good repair and is missing in places. There are yellow lines at the top right of the upper left picture, showing where a railing would have been around that pool. That's all gone. And then the star is matched up to the lower star. That's of the south end, where it meets up with the county right-of-way. There was a beach walkover that was there, and a sliver of county property in between this property and the property to its south. Our recommendation, I have provided, it's in front of you on the screen, and I would like to add to this recommendation a date in the middle of a temporary fix, because they are, the board and Parker Osborne, the contractor for the permanent seawall, has been working on a temporary fix to prevent potential, injury to somebody on the beach if that wall decides to further,
Right.
to further fall. The requested order is an order number 7 today, which would grant the property until April 30th, 2024, again, the day before sea turtle season begins, to rectify violations A through F, including full completion of the new seawall with backfill complete and a copy of the final engineering certificate submitted to Daytona Beach Shores Building Division Office, along with obtaining approved final inspections on all required City of Daytona Beach Shores permits by that April 30th, 2024 date, and pay an administrative fee of $176.69, for which there's an affidavit in your packet. In the event the respondent doesn't comply, a fine of $250 per day would be imposed. We'd also like to insert that within 45 days, which I have been told is tight, but hopefully achievable, the temporary measures, which they, the folks have an idea of what they're going to do, and that has changed over the last week, understandably, that those be in place. And there's not a Daytona Beach Shores permit for that, so we're not asking for that kind of approval, but the temporary measures have been taken I think they plan to remove the wall and then put measures in place to keep the pool. The pool has not moved. It's holding firm, and they'd like to they'd like to remove the risk of the seawall falling further onto the beach, but also continue to protect their pool, and the rest of their property, which is understandable. But we'd like that temporary shoring, the wall removal and temporary shoring, to happen within 45 days, which would be January 22nd, 2024.
Okay. Thank you. Ma'am, do you have any questions for Ms. Herstein?
I don't know that we know what to ask.
Okay,
to
fair
be
enough.
honest with you.
All right, thank you. Any further witnesses?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. All right, this is your opportunity to tell me whatever you'd like. I do have a couple of questions based upon what you provided. If you'd like to say anything,
I'm sorry, I'm just at a loss. I've never.
that's
done
okay.
this
Come on up
before.
to the podium.
I've never done anything like this before. This is the first I'm seeing it.
You're in luck, I don't bite.
Okay.
Okay? What the purpose of this is not to punish, it's to make sure that the public safety and the safety of your residents is protected. Okay? I don't want to fine you. Okay? I'm not going to yell at you, and I fully understand that you are not in the habit of public speaking or presenting. All right, I do need for you to say your name out loud, please.
Zoe Conover.
Zoe Conover. And Ms. Conover, what is your position with COs?
I am the board secretary.
Board Secretary. Okay. Would you mind raising your right hand? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. The city has basically presented a prima facie case that your property is in disrepair and in violation of the City of Daytona Beach Shores Code. I can tell by the pictures that really there's not much of a defense here. But what I'm concerned about is we have two problems here. One is federal, and that is Sea Turtle Day, where everything, as you are aware if you've been a resident here, everything has to stop on Sea Turtle Day. And we, as a small town, can't tell the federal government we need another week, okay? The other thing that I'm concerned about is in the documents that you presented, you have a special meeting coming up. I believe it's December 16th to approve a small business loan. And what's going to happen if you don't get the loan, is my question. Either from the SBA or your members don't approve it,
I truly cannot answer that question.
okay?
I don't.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. This is what I want to do. And sir, who are you?
Parker Osborne.
Okay.
I'm a contractor for them that they brought in.
Oh, so you're the one that Ms. Herstein mentioned?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Probably knows more than me.
All right, that's fine, but I want you to stay up there, okay? Could you please raise your right hand, Mr. Osborne? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm sure, being a contractor, you understand what I'm talking about, Sea Turtle Day,
Yes.
April 30th. Can you get the project done by then if you're granted the funding?
Yes, sir.
You can. And as far as the 45 days to shore up the pool, do you understand what Ms. Herstein was talking about?
Yes, sir. We've looked into that this past week here, and we contacted the board and the property manager and are working on that with them to get that resolved and get some good temporary measures put in place.
Okay, so that's doable as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, great, great. Okay, the one thing that I want you to do that's a little unusual is on December 17th, I want you to give Ms. Herstein a call and tell me whether or not tell her whether or not your membership approved the loan package, okay?
Yep.
I realize that's not under your control, but if it isn't approved, I don't know what we'll do, but we may have to do a different way. And at $250 a day, this can really cripple, a building project. Do you have any questions for me?
No,
Okay.
I don't know what to ask, so.
All right. I'm going to order that I'm going to grant the city's order number 7. okay, which gives you, finding you in violation and gives you time to fix the project. If you don't fix it by April 30th, I have to fine you $250 a day. The other thing is we charge for you coming here, okay? When I said that the price of the seats are the same front or back, well, there is a cost. It's $176.69, which is what the city has put forth in an effort to figure out this violation. I always order that that be paid within 30 days. Can your association pay that within 30 days? Okay? You understand what's going on here?
Yes,
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming.
thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so Sherry, did you, and in addition to what Gwen submitted, we're going to order that the temporary measures to shore up the pool be completed within 45 days. All right.
And a call to the office on the 17th.
And a call to the office on the 17th to find out whether or not the membership has approved the loan package. All right. Since case 5B has been pulled, thank you everyone for coming. If you enjoyed this, we have another one on January 18th and February 15th, and we're scheduled for March 21st as well. Does anyone else have any other business? You have a question, yes.
You know that the 17th is a Sunday?
The 17th is a Sunday. Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, sir. So
All right, so-
really it would be the 18th, or do we leave a message?
No, the 18th is fine. Okay, I did not know that. All right, thank you for telling me. And with that,